Hello, everybody. I'm the Lunchbox, and this is Movie Battles. Today, I'm going to talk about the movie releases for February. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's Valentine's Day. There's going to be nothing but rom-coms and romantic films in there. But this month, it's actually not that bad. There's a few films for pretty much everybody, so it's better than normal. I'm going to be going over many of the movies that are coming out this month, what I want to see, what I'm going to see, what I don't want to see at all, like 50 Shades of Grey or 50 Shades Darker, I believe it's called. Not interested in that at all for two reasons. One reason, single heterosexual man, and I don't want to go to that movie by myself. I think that would be a little weird. But I tell you what, if I can get this video up to 100 likes before it comes out, or by the time it comes out, then I'll bite the bullet and go and do that video for you guys. All right, so let's get started talking about some of these movies coming out in February. First you watch, then you die. It's the next installment of Rings. Now, the first one, The Ring, it came out, I believe it was 2002. If you haven't seen it, pretty simply, you watched a video, a really weird video, and then you would get a phone call, and all it would say on the other line is 7 days. And then in 7 days, you would die. Leading up to that, a bunch of weird shit would happen to you to get you spooked out. So the next installment, same concept, but it does look like from the trailer that they've upgraded from VHS up to online, so that's cool. I think, though, if that went online and it went viral like that kind of film would, there'd be a lot of deaths, and I think it would be an epidemic, and then they would take it down. But who am I? So what else is going on with that? Not a fan of the original film. Don't really like those kind of horror movies. Hashtag not my horror. I like more the blood, guts, inventive ways to be killed. Those kind of films. This one's more ghost, impending doom, thriller-ish. Not my favorite. I will probably end up doing a actual battle between the original and this one once the Blu-ray comes out. I will go see it in the theater. I'll do a review on it. I'll let you know what I think. Not going in with high hopes. Not excited at all. Except for the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio is in it, or I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name. All I know is he's one of my favorite actors. If you don't know who he is, look up. He's in Daredevil. He plays the Kingpin in the Netflix Daredevil series. He's also Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket, one of my favorite all-time films. So yeah, that's pretty much that movie. We'll move on. Nobody's a Bargain. This film is called The Comedian. It's got Robert De Niro in it, and it looks like it's an aging actor, or comedian, sorry. Robert De Niro plays, but he gets some new life brought into his career using social media. So social media seems to be a theme for this month a little bit. Looks funny. I usually don't like going to theaters for funny films, romantic films, just because that's not what a theater's for, in my eyes. I like action and things like that because you have a big screen, you have surround. I want to use that. So you don't really get any added appeal by going to comedies. In fact, it might be a little bit worse because now you got everybody else laughing and they can laugh over other jokes and you miss some stuff. So I usually wait for theaters, or wait for it to come out in Blu-ray. But this one I'm going to go to the theaters for. It looks really good. crazy star-studded cast. You got Robert De Niro, Leslie Mann, Danny DeVito, Harvey Keitel, Eddie Falco, Billy Crystal, Hannibal Buress, and Gilbert Godfrey, and many, many more. So this film looks good, looks funny. Seems like Danny DeVito is his brother, which is weird. It's kind of a twinsy thing going on there, but I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see it. Next movie on the list, Always Be Yourself, Unless You Can Be Batman. That's right, Lego Batman is coming out this month. Super excited for this film. Love DC Comics. Not a fan of their movies lately, but I was a huge fan of the Lego movie, and I love the Batman character in that. I thought Will Arnett voiced him perfectly. In fact, a weird piece of trivia for you is apparently Lego Batman is the version of Batman that Morgan Freeman actually likes the most. Don't know what that says other than the fact that Morgan Freeman is a genius, so he's got to be right about something. Looks like in this film from the trailers that he kind of hurts the Joker's feelings because he doesn't treat Joker like his life partner, which is what many people kind of compare those two to, even though they're villains against or opposed to each other. So it's a cool idea. I think that's kind of a neat. Apparently, the Joker is being voiced by Zach Galifianakis, which, from the sounds of it, sounds good. I kind of wish that Mark Hamill was the voice of it, because he is the definitive Joker voice. That's the one voice that I grew up with. In fact, I didn't really know that it was Mark Hamill until about 5 years ago. So that's kind of cool that's what he got into. I'm definitely going to see this movie. I'm definitely going to review it. It's probably going to get a good review for me, just because I think it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be funny. I'm going to try to see if I can take my nephew to it. Get a kid's side, and plus then I won't be that weird guy in there without kids to a kids movie. But yeah, it looks good. Does look like it has some adult humor in it though, as they all do nowadays. Let's see, we'll move on. Never Stab the Devil in the Back. It's John Wick Chapter 2. Now, I got mixed feelings about this one. I really want to see it. It looks good. I really enjoyed the first one. The only thing that I'm worried about, though, is the first one kind of came organically. When it comes to Keanu Reeves, lately, he didn't do very many good films. He didn't have good choices. But this was a good choice and ended up being a good film. Now, this one's going to have a lot more pressure on it because we all expect it to be good, like the first one. So I'm kind of worried that that's going to be its downfall. Just like many IFC films or independent films or films that don't do well in the box office and end up getting that cult following. When they try to remake it or make it again, it always fails. It doesn't have that organic quality to it. So, kind of worried about it. Does look good. Kind of wonder how they're going to make him rejoin and fight some more. But, well, we'll see how it goes. Excited for seeing it anyways and reviewing it for you guys. 1,700 years to build. 5,500 miles long. What were they trying to keep out? The Great Wall. Now, originally, when I seen this first trailer, I wasn't excited about it at all, because I thought it was going to be about the building of the Great Wall originally. I didn't think it was great that they were going to have an American in it, but it looks like it's going to be good. I didn't realize it was going to be set in a fantasy scene. I love fantasy style movies. This looks cool. I'm not too sure what the monsters are that are coming after him. Thinking China, you would think it would be like dragons or something. but they look like four-legged lizardy style creatures, I guess. I'm not too sure. Looks action-packed, looks grand scale, epic. So yeah, that one I am excited for now after seeing the newest trailers. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Now, this movie doesn't have a tagline, but I think its name kind of gives it a tagline. Cure for Wellness. This looks batshit crazy. I'm super excited to see it because I love batshit crazy kind of films. I'm not entirely sure what it's about even. I know that a character goes to try to find his boss who's gone to some like health retreat center that's supposed to help with relaxation, things like that. But it looks like it takes some dark and messed up twists. If you look at the trailer, you got that girl in a bathtub with a bunch of snakes. I don't know how that relates to any of it. So, excited for it, even though I don't know anything about it. It's kind of weird, but I will be going to the theater for this one. I will be reviewing this one. We'll see if it ends up being any good, but from the trailer and my no expectation of it, should be good. Just because you are invited doesn't mean you're welcome. This film is called Get Out. Now, I know that seems like a cliche for a horror film, but it makes sense in this way. Now, it looks like racism is the actual, like, villain in this horror film, which I don't think has ever been done before. I can't think of another film even remotely like it where racism is full-blown villain. Not just a part of the topic, not about trying to overcome racism, which most of the other films about racism are about. This one is strictly like racism is wanting to kill the black guy. And also another weird thing is the black guy is the hero who is trying to run away and not get murdered by a bunch of white people. This one I'm kind of interested in. I think it's an interesting topic for a horror film. Now, horror usually pushes boundaries in this kind of way, but it hasn't done a horror film about strictly racism, and I'm really, really curious about watching it. Looks like this guy is dating a white girl, and they decide to go and meet the parents. She didn't tell him that she was black, or he was black, sorry, and it ensues from there. This town is full of just white people, and except for the help, which is just eerie to begin with for the feeling. But yeah, it looks interesting. That's all I can say is that it looks interesting, and I'm curious about it. To see this kind of topic taken in this kind of light should be very good to watch. I think it'll make a good movie. So I will be going to see this. I will be going to review it because yeah, I think it's going to be good. So we'll see if it ends up being that way. So that's pretty much the list of the movies that I'm really interested in and that I'm really going to go see, really want to see. But I'll list off some of the other films that are coming on. Brief description. So we got The Space Between Us, which is a love story in space. It looks like we colonized Mars, and there's a boy who was born on Mars and never been to Earth. And he comes to Earth, but Earth is killing him. So I'm assuming some atmosphere differences between being at the one place to now. And he falls in love for the first time. So, yeah. Not going to see that. Unless you guys overwhelmingly suggest that in the comments, then maybe I will. But, yeah, it'll take a little bit to make me want to go and see this. Let's see. We got Journey to the West, the Demon chapter. Now, I love Journey to the West. I love Kung Fu style films, especially Hong Kong originals, like Golden Harvest original films. I like that style. I've always loved it. But I feel that a sequel to Journey to the West. It's probably not going to be good. It's probably going to be a B style film. I probably will watch it once it's out on Blu-ray or Netflix or something like that. And if I watch it and I like it, maybe I'll do a review. Maybe I'll do a battle with the originals. But there's so many Journeys to the West versions of it. But yeah, Demon Chapter. No, not into it. We got a documentary film. I don't think it's going to even come to the theaters here, so that's probably why I'm not going to go see it. It does look interesting. It's called "I'm Not Your Negro." Clearly, it's going to be about racism. We got. I don't even know the guy that it's about. I didn't really look into it that much. All I knew is that I probably wasn't going to be able to go see it. It's one of the films that I probably will watch once it comes to Netflix or HBO because I do love documentaries. I find them enlightening and you learn quite a lot. And from the trailer, looks like this guy had some pretty interesting ideas back in the day. It's voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, so that's cool. But yeah, like I said, probably not going to theater for it. I don't even think it's going to come here in my town, so which is shitty for my town. We should figure that shit out and bring these kind of films here because I would go to the theater to see it, but like I said, it's probably not. And documentary is kind of hard to do a review about though, because how do you base it whether it's good or bad on something that's based on reality and a very opinionated usually? So I find it hard to review that kind of film. But like I said, probably will watch it. Moving on, 50 Shades Darker, like I talked about earlier. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not good. The books were terribly written. I did read one of them because everybody was, and I got told I should, so I read it. I found the writing terrible. I do like the interesting story behind how it came to be. Apparently, it was some fanfic. I don't know if this is true, but I've been told this a couple times. But apparently, it was fan fiction for Twilight. They had a forum that people could write fanfic and push it onto their site. But they had to take it down because it was a little too risque. So, because they made such a big deal out of it, the writer of the books decided to say screw you, changed a few of the names, changed some of the circumstances, obviously, because there's no freaking vampires in it, especially glittery ones. But they made a film, and I think the books ended up doing better than Twilight. I think the first film did better than the Twilight film. I'm not too sure about that because Twilight wasn't R-rated, and 50 Shades definitely is. So, yeah, I'm not going to see it unless you guys get to those 100 likes, which I hope I do get to it, but I really don't want to go see that film. Moving on, A United Kingdom. Now, this one is another race one, which seems to be another theme. Race and social media. But this one is about interracial love. It looks like it's about a country in Africa. I can't remember. I want to say it was like Botswana or something like that. I'm not too sure. It's a love story. Sorry, guys. I'm not into those kind of films. So this one I won't see. If you guys put it in the subjects and say that you really want to have a review for me, maybe I'll make it to this one. I ain't gonna put anything about 100 likes on this because then I'll have to see all these freaking movies if I get there, and I don't want to see all of them. But if you guys, there are enough people write about it and say that they want to go see it, I will go see it and give you my review. But don't expect it to be good. We got, what was it? Fist Fight? I think? Fist Fight? Now that's it looks funny, but it's the one where it's got Ice Cube in it, and they're teachers, and they end up having a fight, a school fight. Stupid concept. Really is. Looks hilarious, but a stupid concept. I don't go to comedies in the theater. Like I said, I make an exception once in a while if I think that it's really good or the subject matter is kind of good. But this one just looks like it's going to be a funny film. I'll probably end up watching it, but not going to pay money for this one. It is what it is. Let's see. We got Patient Zero, which it's kind of interesting. I'm undecided on this one. Probably won't go to it. I'm kind of over zombies, and it seems like it's going to be a zombie film again. Talks about Patient Zero who has gotten this illness but is able to live with it, and he can actually communicate with some of the victims of it. Victims being zombies again. It's kind of an interesting idea, but I'm really sick of zombie films, especially non-George A. Romero zombie films, because he's the master, and you really can't replicate that. We got Land of Mine. This is a film where we're supposed to have sympathy for Nazi soldiers. I find it interesting and neat that we've come to a time and place that we feel that we can actually do this now. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I don't think I'm going to get those feelings that the movie is trying to portray. I don't know if it's going to come here because it looks like it is foreign. It looks like it's a foreign film. It looks like it's... I don't think it's German, but it might be Dutch, because I think it's in Belgium or something like that. But yeah, apparently it's this actually happened. That a bunch of Nazi soldiers after the war were assigned to go and find landmines that they put down, and a lot of them died. But this one, it looks like it's a group of about 30 people. But yeah, that seems to be what it is, to have feelings of remorse or feel bad about these Nazi soldiers. And I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can actually get those emotions out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm probably not going to see this film. One, I'm not a big fan of going to foreign films. Doubt it'll even come here. But I might watch it when it comes out. We'll see. Maybe there'll be some good reviews on it that I can read and watch, and maybe I'll end up seeing it. Once again, if you guys suggest it, maybe I will. Let's see. Everybody Loves Somebody. Just from the title, I never even watched this trailer. Not gonna lie, I don't know anything about this film. I just know it's coming out in February, Valentine's Days, and it's called Everybody Loves Somebody. Nope, this is probably a rom-com. Not excited. Not even interested. We got we got a cartoon coming out too. We got Rock Dog. It's got some actors in it from some good actors voicing it. Looks like it's a little bit of an attempt to rip off or live off of the fame of Sing. So that seems to be what they do nowadays anyways. If something gets some popularity, they're going to run with it. That's why we got so many fucking zombie films. I don't know. It's not that interesting to me. I'll probably end up watching it. Might take my nephew to it. Maybe I'll see it. Who knows? Tulip Fever. So this one is basically Valentine's Day or February's Romeo and Juliet style film. the forbidden love. Someone is in love with a married woman who married much older than her. Once again, it's a romance film, like I told you guys, and I'll probably tell you many times more. I don't do those kind of films. Not big on it. Maybe I'll watch it later. Who knows? That's a period piece, too. Well, it looks like it's got some decent actors in it. Looks like it's been done well. Period piece romance. It's not my thing. And then there's Bitter Harvest, which is also another film I have no idea about. I haven't watched the trailer. I know it's another love story. So, yeah, February, man. What can I say? I'll just go over a few more of my plans for February. Looks like Sundance is going on, the great film festival. It's a film festival that I'd actually really like to go and be a part of or see. But it's expensive, and you got to travel, so probably not going to be for a while. Maybe someday. Sundance has produced many great films that have come out of it. There's a few that are coming from this one that I've seen some bits and parts and some hearings about that. It looks like there's going to be some good films out of this one. It's got a long history of great films coming out of there. Movies like Moonstruck with Cher and Nicolas Cage. The Usual Suspects, fantastic film. Kaiser Soze, man, everybody knows that film. It's played on TV a lot too, so you should know it. If you haven't, watch TV, it'll be on. You got The Full Monty. Thought that movie was hilarious, interesting subject matter. You got there's Gods and Monsters, which is a film about a director from the Universal Monster period. It was a great film. Ian McKellar's in it. It's a good one. Check it out. Boys Don't Cry came out of Sundance. Another good film. Motorcycle Diaries, Hustle and Flow, An Inconvenient Truth. So those documentary guys out there, that's probably one of the biggest documentaries of all time. So that came out of Sundance. Little Miss Sunshine, Freeheld, Precious, Boyhood. Boyhood, man, that was a good film. I really liked that one. Interesting that it took so long for them to make it, because they actually traveled the life of the kid instead of just getting different actors that kind of look like them. So, pretty innovative film. Whiplash, what a great film that was. I mean, it won tons of awards. Good film. If you haven't seen it, you got to check that one out. Clerks. Love Clerks. That's where I got my name from, guys. If you don't know, like I said, I'm the Lunchbox. And in one of Kevin Smith's films, he plays Silent Bob. Well, he plays Silent Bob in all his films. But he gets called the Lunchbox, and that's what ends up being my name, or what friends ended up calling me. So I love that film. Love everything about Kevin Smith. I like how, with this Sundance, actually, that Kevin Smith is doing the interviews on IMDb. If you haven't checked them out, it's pretty neat, considering he got a start from there. Like, he put everything into that film. Really neat. I think it's cool that he's doing those interviews. Some people don't like Kevin Smith's opinion. I think he's hilarious. I think he's very creative. I like what he's doing with the DC TV series. He's done a few episodes of Flash, done a few episodes of Arrow. I think he's done The League. I'm not too sure. He's been a part of a bunch of them. Supergirl, he did Supergirl as well. I did a few of those episodes. And from what I've seen, those stretches that he's done have been some of the most interesting ones on there. So that's just my opinion, but if you're watching this, it's because you're interested in my opinion a little bit. What else? There's a few movies coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Inferno, which is the third book or third in the movie series of the Dan Brown series. If you haven't checked those out, it's Da Vinci Code. Cool films. I like the books. They're Really interesting. If you're into that religious mythos slash conspiracy theory stuff, then you'll probably like it. I've liked them. Inferno I haven't seen yet, but I'm going to watch it once it's out on Blu-ray, which I think it is now. So I'll probably end up watching it right away. But I'll probably do a battle on the top 3 of those ones, which one was the best film. Next month, I think King Kong comes out. So maybe this month I'll do a top 10 list of the best King Kong films. And whichever ends up being number 1, maybe I'll make them a battle. Nah, I'll probably do a battle on just all the 3 originals. Or 3 first ones. So the original, way back in 1933, I believe it was. And then the Peter Jackson one, which sucked. And the new one, which looks fucking awesome. I think that's out next month, though, March. And what else is coming to DVD and Blu-ray? Death Race Battle 2050. So, yeah, I think that's in line with the newest series of them. Maybe I'll do a battle between the death races. Yeah, I like the battle. The original is awesome. If you haven't seen it, independent film, great film. If you've ever thought or ever heard the idea of, you run somebody over, you get 50 points and stuff, it came from that film. That's where it came from. Cool film. Early days for Sylvester Stallone in it. Looks, yeah, that was a great film. The Jason Statham one was okay. It had lots of action, really interesting action. But it wasn't that good. It's, like I said, cult films, you can't remake and make them good. It just doesn't happen. I can't think of one time so far. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll think about that and actually look it up a little bit more. But I don't think there is. What else is coming out? Ouija Original. Now, I didn't see Ouija. And I didn't see Ouija Original. But maybe I'll watch both of them and I'll do a battle for you guys. And if you don't know what battles are, I'll explain it now. Basically, I take one film against another film, usually the remake or in the series of, and compare them to one another and see which one is better. And that's pretty much it. They battle it out to see who's best. Pretty simple concept. I'm a simple guy. So, yeah, I think that's it for February. I think that's all we're going to end up talking about. February, it's an okay month. I'll check you out once we get there. If there is a film that I've listed off on the list of movies I do not want to see, and you want me to review them, put it in the comments down below. Let me know that you want me to do them. Maybe I will. Except for 50 Shades. Because you guys got to step up to make me do that one. You guys do 100 likes on here by then, I'll go to the film. Yeah. I've never been so torn about wanting to get likes before. But hey, that's the name, I guess. We'll see what happens. I hope you guys do it. But I hope you don't do it. Because I don't want to see that film. I really hope I can find somebody to go with, because I do not want to be at that film by myself. Yeah. Terrible. Anyways, once again, I'm the Lunchbox. This has been Movie Battles. This has been the preview show. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, share, comment, do all those things that you do on social media, guys. Thanks. I've been enjoying this so far. I'm going to continue doing it for the foreseeable future anyways. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you next time.